Hey YouTubers, it's Fox, and back with another episode of let's recap D&D: The Revenge of the Fallen. Okay, so last time they had were on the cart, and they had one guy tied up, and they were asking him questions, Inazuma specifically, um, and he was asking things like, "Who is your master?" Blah blah blah. The whole spiel that you would ask a minion, and he doesn't really know who his master is. He was hired by an anonymous person, so that's not helpful. And the crowd wouldn't let them take the guy away because they're like, oh, he's still alive. What the hell? What are they doing? Why isn't he dead? Because, those guys are evil. Why are they keeping him alive, kind of thing? I mean, they're just ordinary old townsfolk. They're like, why kill? So yeah, eventually I think Leviticus breaks his neck or something. I can't remember. It's been a week. I don't know why I haven't recorded this earlier, but I don't know. But after that, after the week's over, Jack comes up to him, says stuff like, "Hi guys, we got all the slaves out and out of their trances, but they still haven't gotten the Beholder out, obviously, because they don't have any powerful magic like that." And he asks if they're alright because he's heard from what happened at the parade. And he says that he may have found a guy that have be able to translate the book that they found. What's it called? What's it called? I'm trying to think. Oh, he may have found somebody that has gone into hiding for a while, but they don't even know if he's still alive. So they give them this really old map that they have. It's still legible and stuff, but you can tell that it's old. But they also said that they have reopened the tunnel that they went in between when they had when they were captured by the rogues, and then they went over to the Dragon's Alliance. They actually have another tunnel that they had closed off that led to this place. It was for traveling purposes, as it said in detail for the campaign. So they reopen that, but when they go through, they're gonna have to close it again now that the rogues are starting to pop up. But they don't want them to get where they're going, basically. Or if that's where they're coming from, they don't want more to come in. So they're going to be blocking it off as soon as they close it again. But the only thing that they have to do is say dragon 3 times in Elvish. And the funny thing is, when Jack is saying this, Inazuma goes, "Dragons where?" Because he actually understands Elvish. But let's see. Excuse me. So they start heading down the tunnel. It takes them 2 days to actually get down there until they reach a door. It's a long tunnel. And Akira starts going like, when they start getting close to the door, he's like, guys, I don't know if I can go through there. There's too much evil presence. And basically just starts walking away a little bit. And then, basically, what's that character's name now? I can't even remember. I think it's like Smurferin or something. It's the barbarian. He's finally got a name. Here, I'll get the thing out of my book bag so I can tell you guys what his name is. But anyway, he kicks down the door, and they notice that Akira is hanging in this room. Yeah, it's Smurferin Lunagrin. It's a good name in my opinion. You don't get very exotic names like that very often. Anywho, they're kind of confused because Akira just walked that way and he's hanging up there. So they look around and they don't see anything. And so yeah, they cut down Akira and he goes, "Where have you guys been? I've been gone for a couple. Where have you guys been for the past couple of days?" It's like, "Well, there was this you that was with us, and he was." There's also another door in this room. So at first they were gonna go follow the fake, but then I told them it's a 2-day walk down this tunnel. It'll take you 2 days to go down it, and then 2 days to come back. So they're like, we'll just keep going. So they did. And they opened the next door. They went into this room and they saw just skeletons hanging on the walls and stuff. And then all of a sudden, they came to life. They also had old torture devices around as well. Oh, and one of the things that one of the characters said, I can't even remember who it was. I think it was Alistair. He was like, "Well, it's a good thing we found a cure in time." And so yeah, they get a cure. Well, they go down, and after a little while of walking down a tunnel, skeletons start appearing, or the skeletons start coming to life, I should say, because they're just on the walls. But so yeah, they have to go through that battle. Doesn't take too long, just skeletons. And then they get into the quote-unquote next room. It's just the same hallway, just another part of it. It's a long hallway. Where they get snuck up on by an ochre jelly, which attacks Alistair right off the bat. And also in the other end of the room, you can see some skeletons and a Wright just standing there, basically yelling at them that this is his domain and that they should get out or die. And they just keep attacking him. Well, the ochre jelly. After a while, Blackstar just takes both of his swords and just carves them into the ochre jelly, blooding it. And if you know ochre jellies, they split when they're bloodied. So the ochre jelly splits and doing more damage to it. At one point it was funny because someone actually spilt I think it was water or soda onto the gaming mat. And I was like, well, to tell the truth, that's actually the real size of the ochre jelly, and it was more like giant size instead of large size. Wasn't much of a difference. I just thought it was funny. But then the skeletons went down relatively quickly because I was dumb and moved them up when I should have kept them as bodyguards for the who'd-you-call it? The Wright. Bodyguards for the Wright. Anyhow, they've been during this entire battle, they've been taunting the Wright the entire time. Eventually, he hasn't gotten any attacks on anyone, and eventually, right before he dies, he just casts a grave bolt at Alistair. He's like, "You know what? If I'm gonna die, you're coming with me." Grave bolt doesn't do that much other than the fact that it has a chance of immobilizing. That's the biggest problem about it. So he casts it, does a little bit of damage, and fails to immobilize him, and then goes bleh. They get a bunch of treasure at this point, and they move on. Which, not far after, they see light, and they wind up in a wasteland. perfect, right? Yeah. Wasteland. That's where I've always wanted to be. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Inazuma and Lee have horses. I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous one or not, but they have horses along with their animal companions that they bought. Let's see. Why am I yawning so much? I have D&D in like an hour. Actually, that's quite exact. I have D&D in an hour. So, let's see. They go out and they start using survival check to find their way. Leviticus leads. So Leviticus goes and finds which way to go. Everyone follows him. The funny thing is, everyone kept rolling survival checks. I was like, only Leviticus has to roll survival checks. Everyone kept rolling. But, yeah, everyone, they all made it, but the funny thing is, Alistair he's an alchemist, and since he's had a lot of days, he's been preparing a lot of potions. And, the other guys, they're kind of like, they don't have anything to drink. So, first off, Forrest finds Cactus and starts picking the needles off for who knows what at the moment. And, let's see. Leviticus actually takes juice out of the, cactus, getting cactus juice. And, but before all this, they actually were drinking Alistair's potions, even though they don't have an effect on other people that use them, because alchemists, unless you have a certain alchemist ability, you don't get, other people don't get the benefits of your potions. It's basically just a drink. So, they were drinking them to replenish their thirst. I was like, whatever. Wastes their potions. I'm not complaining. Just handing out all your potions. That's one way to dwindle your forces down. Just make them waste potions. But yeah, so they drank potions. They got cactus juice. They filled it up with a flask. They have flasks, but they didn't have them full of water. Now they have 2 people have flasks full of cactus juice. So they're ready now, which is good. Then they get to the town, which is where they were trying to go. And the guy walks up to him basically saying, "Hey, aren't you from the Dragoon Alliance? Because Dragonborn." So, like, they're all like, "Yeah, I haven't seen one of those in forever." And basically offers to lead them to the wizard of the village, because there is a wizard in this village. And he takes you to this underground laboratory. And a gnome by the name of, I think, Roderick or something like that, Gravel Toes. So he's kind of like, "What's up? What you guys want?" And basically you go, "I need you to translate this book." And he goes, "Bah, translating. I hated that stuff." And basically, he'll translate the book for you, but only if you do 2 things for him. 1, test his new invention, which is called the Body Changer. Basically, it's just an item that casts Slay Living on you and then reincarnate. It's a really roundabout way of doing it, too. So yeah, Inazuma is the one that volunteers for this. Boom, dies. Comes back as a dwarf. So now he's a dwarf. And the other thing that they want, or he wants him to do, them to do, is go to the Ruwick mines, because there have been monsters being sighted there recently. And the wizard himself cannot go because he needs to. He's actually the one maintaining all the water for the village. Just basically cast and create water a whole bunch of times. So he has to actually stay there to make sure that the water supply stays steady. Not too much, not too little. So, that's where we left off. Getting ready to go to the dungeon. I can't wait because there are some fun monsters in there. Well, that's all for this recap. See you guys next time for Dark Cloud. Bye.